some of the factors behind Dave and Fredo going #1. Now before we continue, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow Plugsville, follow me, that's at AJ_Rose on Twitter and Instagram. So let's get into it. The first is unique artistry. Across the whole release, from the music video to the artwork to the instrumental, Dave has had an influence on all of those steps. It's not like he creates a song, calls in a videographer and says, here's the song, create a concept for me. He literally plans out every little thing himself. Funky Friday, he co-produced the track with 169. He co-directed the video. He's co-directed and directed some of his other videos. He's also produced and had a hand with the instrumentals on some of his other videos as well. So what that shows is he really cares about the whole artistic process, and he realizes, raw, like if I can influence the whole process from the track to the instrumental to the artwork to the video, then I can communicate this piece of art I'm trying to communicate in the best way possible. I don't have to rely on other people. I can go out there and bring to life my own visions myself. If you look at the end of the video, there's a cutaway where in this end cutaway, there's 3 animals side by side. There's a monkey, a dog and a bird. And I feel like these 3 animals each represent something about Dave and something about his music. So you've got the monkeys. He'll just say anything. He don't really care. Like he'll push those limits. He'll come with those mad bars. Like if you take in Peligro on Giggs' latest mixtape, that verse there is just like whoa. Then you got the dog in the middle. What I think that shows is he doesn't shy away from anything. There's just like this sense of openness and fearlessness to his music. He will attack any subject, any issue, whether it's personal to him or whether it's a reflection of society right now. There's nothing that's off limits. And then you got the bird as the final animal. There's a sense of wiseness to his music. It's almost like Dave is one of these birds high up in the sky, just overseeing everything, aware of everything that's going on, and just finding his little area to swoop down in and shine. I think he went Paris to shoot the scenes with the monkeys. He's got the birds in there, the dogs. These animals are all in there to remind you of different elements of Dave's flow. These little twists, they help massively with selling the overall vision. It's not like he just created this style yesterday and then this song just took off. Dave has a good few songs in his back catalogue that follow a similar structure to Funky Friday that have helped fans become acclimatized to this particular style of rap. It makes fans really want to buy into his music, which leads me on to my second point of loyal fans. He's got a mad loyal fan base. So I mentioned that he brings a unique artistry to his work. That is then rewarded with loyalty amongst his fans. Everything he does, he puts so much time into it, so much effort into it. He worries about every little bit of the production, the video, the this, the that. That level of care and attention to detail translates. When you look at Funky Friday, there was no big press run. There was no big TV interview or big radio interview. It was just Dave on social media basically chatting to his fans and giving them updates to make sure they feel involved. That's what's key. Like Dave's fans, kind of like Stormzy. Another example is Stormzy. Like when Stormzy's album was released, a lot of fans felt involved in that process. If you check Benny Scars, that's Dave's manager, if you check his Instagram, he put out a message like, when we released the track, it weren't like we put this out with the intention of it becoming the #1 single in the country. I don't know the process behind Calvin Harris and Sam Smith making that track, but I imagine that when they came together, both of their teams must have thought, we got one of the biggest singers in the country and one of the biggest DJs in the country coming together on one track. This track, at the very least, has to be top 5. This is just a guess, but I feel like that track would have been released with a sense of this needs to perform commercially well. But with Dave's one, it was more just like, yo, here's a banger. Let's put it out there, where they obviously would have known that they're going to put up like some sick numbers on Spotify and that. It's Dave and Fredo. Fans have been waiting 8 months and that. So they would have been aware that people are going to listen to this one, but it weren't like they headed into it thinking this is the #1. Check Austin's Twitter from Spotify. He tweeted out an update after day 1. He was like, Dave's, within 24 hours of its release, Funky Friday had 480,000 streams on Spotify alone. Guess what would suggest that at the very least, it got a good couple 100,000 streams on Apple Music as well. It then became, in the fans' hands now. Like, the Dave looked at him and thought, bro, this track's doing mad. But if the fans didn't F with it, it wouldn't have gone #1. If he put out them videos saying, I need 100 sales, we're close, and fans didn't buy it, it would have just remained close or #3 or #4, which still would have been sick. But because of his fan base is loyal, because his fan base appreciate that level of artistry so much, and also Fredo's fans were so impressed with Fredo's verses and all of his raps about Harrods and his missus and all these things, people get on board with it. You've seen the hard work, you've seen the black box, you've seen the Drake feature, you've seen his first SBTV, you've seen all these deeper meaning songs, you've seen No Words. At this point, you're like, yo, this guy's been hitting us with so much. This brother has to hit that final step. Let's make sure he does it. Like, he made fans want to help him. The more loyal your fans are, the more they'll ride for you in times like this. My point here is loyal fans can do a lot for you. If you put a lot of care and attention into making sure these fans have a big reason to mess with your music, they'll come through and support. The third thing I'd say that made this track successful is bars. It's just rap. That's it. There's just rap. There ain't even really much of a chorus. Like, there's enough moments in there to add structure to the song that means it's not just Dave and Fredo chucking down a couple verses. So when he says at this age, that's like the closest thing to the chorus it has. But even that's only a short few bars. If you clock a lot of Dave's music, there's a lot of breaks in his instrumentals. His bars are so over your head. They're sometimes so complicated. There's so much going on, so many punchlines that you sometimes need just a brief moment to let what you've just heard sink in, and then you're ready for the next one. There's one of them in No Words, one in 19th Birthday where the beat switches. From the first moment, you're captivated. You want to be like, what are these men doing at this age that I need to know about? Oh, what? They're still hating, mad. Big up Fredo, he did his thing. He's got his classic bars. He's got the bars about Harrods. He's got the bars about going on dates. Like, everything he says, there's no weak spot. And Fredo, again, like Dave built up his unique fan base, Fredo's built up a fan base of fans that have come to expect and love the mad authority he brings to his tracks. Remember Wireless 2016, Western brought out Fredo for They Ain't 100, and everyone knew not just the chorus, but every word in it. And that's how this song is Funky Friday. I can think of a few different songs from different artists where I only like the chorus, or they have a mad verse, but I don't like the rest of the song, but I'll just fast forward to the mad verse and keep reloading that. There are many songs where you only like a certain part of the song, but this song is just sick bars from start to finish. There's no weak points. Those are the three things, just to recap, yeah? Dave brings a unique artistry to all of his work. Number two, that unique artistry has helped him develop a really loyal fan base. He can literally just rely on his fans now because social media connects you directly to those consumers. Whereas before you had to go through a middleman. And now you don't need the middleman. You can just chat directly to your fans and get the results you want. And number three, this song itself has got sick bars. Everything on this song was on point. The mini chorus, the production, the structure of the beat, the bars itself, the whole thing, everything came together. All the boxes got ticked and they just came through and did their thing. Before Funky Friday went #1, yeah, they were knocking on the door of higher commercial success. So what I mean by that is, No Words, when that was released with Mo Stack, that went #17. That's a top 20 hit. How I Met My Ex went #32. Fredo's last mixtape, Tables Turn, went #5. When you can kick off that final door and you can get to like the top of the summit, it turns heads. Because with UK rap, yeah, like 5 or 10 years ago, charting wasn't really part of UK rap. Now it is. It's like, it's a newer thing. But with some genres, some people live and die by the chart. Some people will literally, the music they listen to will be whatever's being played on the radio the most, whatever they hear in clubs the most, whatever's at the top of the playlist that they listen to the most. So a lot of people are quite happy to just have whatever's the hottest thing at the time spoon-fed to them. He's got that top #1 without compromise. That's the key here. Listen to the lyrics them man are chatting about and then think to yourself, rah, this song is #1. The times have changed. Like, they've changed. And that's a sign of like more things could follow suit, more tracks could follow suit, less people might have to compromise now. There's a lot of knock-on effects that could come from this. Another episode of How It Works. Peace.